Welcome back to Good Morning San Diego. Charter schools are becoming more and more popular in San Diego County, but a recent study shows that the public schools may be bearing the costs of the new school expansion. That's part of the controversy here. We're here to talk more about the study and some benefits of charter schools. It's David Sciarretta from Albert Einstein Academies. Nice to have you here, David.
Thank you.
All right, so what do you make of this report? They're saying, they claim, San Diego Unified and others claim, that charter schools are costing them $65 million, that you're stealing money from them.
When you take a look at this study through the University of Oregon, where the professor, the author of the study works, just takes a simple Google search and you'll see that he works for an institute there that is supported by labor money, and he's a leading consultant and strategist for labor unions. So to represent this as an objective piece of scholarship is disingenuous. But I think that what we really need to focus on is the fact that parents and families in San Diego are choosing charter schools. There are now 50 within San Diego Unified's boundaries and about 170 in the county. And that's where the conversation should be. Mm-hmm. When a student joins a charter school, the funds for that student certainly follow the student to the charter school. But years later, I don't understand how the district can still claim that somehow they're losing money because of that. They have to adjust their budgets just as we do. If our enrollment goes down in the charter world, then we need to adjust accordingly.
So you're talking about market forces here. Yeah. So in other words, if a parent decides that the charter school is best for my child, I want that for my kid. Or maybe there's a great public school down the street. Right. Let them go to the public school. But charter schools do what? I know that there's a great innovation there, and there's some things that you're doing that public schools perhaps aren't doing, which is why people go to Albert Einstein Academies, for example.
Yeah. Look, I see us in a partnership with our authorizing districts, a partnership for educating students. There is no one best school for all kids. Mm-hmm. And so you'll have some students who go to the local traditional public school down the street, and you have others, maybe within the same family, who the parents will say, you know what, maybe Albert Einstein Academy is an IB World School. They can learn multiple languages, or maybe the O'Farrell Charter School, which is an avid demonstration school with national acclaim. You have High Tech High, you've got all these other options, and that's really the spirit of the charter law. There are good charter schools and not so good charter schools, just as there are in the traditional public school sector. Yeah. How
does autonomy play into this? And because I know even though there's a partnership there, as you mentioned, charter schools do have a certain degree of autonomy, which allows them to do the kinds of things that you're talking about.
Yeah, the real spirit of the charter school law, which has been around now for a quarter century, this isn't a new thing, right? Mm-hmm. This has been trending this way for 25 years. But the spirit of that law was increased flexibility and reduced red tape in exchange for increased accountability. So we operate on 5-year charter cycles, and we have to perform and deliver within those 5 years. Otherwise, we're not renewed. So it's much more, in that sense, like a private sector endeavor, mm-hmm. but we are public schools, public charter schools. And so it's kind of that blend of the two.
So bottom line for me, the $65 million that they claim charter schools are losing, or public schools are losing to charter schools, is doing what? What's the message you'd like to send on your side?
Well, I think the message that I'd like to send is that we are responsible for managing our own budgets within the charter world, and as is the school district. I'm not privy to details about San Diego Unified's budget or any other district around the state in real granular detail. Mm-hmm. But if you have to take a look at, are there layers of that organization that can be reduced? Are there some efficiencies that can be improved, which is what we'd have to do. If I lose 20% of my students at Albert Einstein Academies, we have to make adjustments, staffing levels, or programmatic adjustments. That's just the reality of this. And so scapegoating the charter community is not really the way to go about this. I think we need to honor parents and their choices and make some tough decisions.
David Sciarretta, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your side of the story here. All right, back and more in just a moment.